tech news, and it just keeps coming in. It's all over this. It just keeps coming. They're just so cool. There's so many technical things that happen, but you want me to do something about it? Apple has unveiled new MacBook Pros and Mac Minis powered by M2 SoCs, including new chips thankfully named M2 Pro and M2 Max instead of M2 Excessive or something. M2 Outlandish. The 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros perform around 20 to 30% faster than their M1-derived counterparts, at least according to Apple's graphs, and can be configured with up to 96 gigabytes of RAM if you're Elon Musk. There's also M2 and M2 Pro-equipped Mac Minis, so I can get my mom a discounted M1 version soon, but if you watched Apple's 18-minute video keenly looking for any sign of the company's mixed reality headset, keep waiting. It'll probably still show up in June, although we'll be waiting longer for Apple's lighter AR glasses, which have been delayed in favor of making a cheaper headset for the Quest 2 crowd. But that wasn't actually everything that Apple officially announced this week. There's a new full-size HomePod 2 for $299 after Apple pulled the old one because no one bought it. It's apparently better, even though it has less physical speakers inside it, but that might be to make room for unknown sensors, like the secret temperature and humidity sensor that Apple just activated in the HomePod Mini. People bought it without even knowing it was in there. What else is in there? Just hide it. It's a big sword, like. Anyways, you can use 2 of the new big HomePods as stereo speakers for your Apple TV, but can you use it to accept the new terms and conditions after your TV updates? Yeah, this week a tweet by Chris, I don't know how to read his handle, went viral after he was prompted by his Apple TV to accept its new TOS using basically any other Apple device, which he didn't have, a situation that is apparently inconceivable to Apple. What do you mean you don't have more than, you don't even have an iPad? You don't need another device to set up the Apple TV, so this was confusing. Thankfully, there is a workaround involving signing out from the Apple TV's settings, but Apple would really prefer you to have an iOS device on hand, because otherwise, how is it gonna collect your user data without your consent? That's right, France just fined Apple a whole $8.5 million, AKA the amount of cash it gives its kids to spend at the corner store, for that whole debacle from a few months ago where it was found that Apple's personalized ads toggle in iOS did absolutely nothing in most of Apple's own apps. Because what happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone. It's just you have to understand that Apple's servers are part of your iPhone. And in non-Apple news, Getty Images has sued Stability AI, the maker of popular AI art tool Stable Diffusion, in the second major lawsuit over what the heck we're gonna do about the copyright thing now that art can be absorbed, mixed around, and reconstituted like a freak Star Trek transporter accident. Getty Images says Stability AI copied and processed millions of images protected by copyright without a license, although Getty CEO Craig Peters said they're not seeking monetary damages. They just want to establish a precedent for this kind of thing. And yeah, sure, if people pay for licenses as part of that as a matter of conscience, then fine. And to be clear, we do need that precedent and education and transparency regarding this AI stuff because people are freaking out and thinking Adobe is definitely training AI with your Photoshop files, which the company has denied. But was that press release written by ChatGPT? How can you know? I don't know, maybe we can burn through a bunch of these lawsuits really quick. We should just use that AI lawyer bot. Due process just takes so much time. I could be eating dinner right now. Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Kudos, the free smart wallet that helps you get the most rewards and benefits from your credit cards whenever you shop online. What does that dumb leather one in your butt pocket do besides put your spine out of alignment? All you need to do is shop like normal, and at checkout, Kudos will tell you which of your cards will get you the most cash back. Say goodbye to the struggle of picking out the right card for a purchase, or say nothing. That struggle was rude and does not deserve a farewell. Kudos will even remind you of any hidden credit card benefits that you might never have known you had, like luggage insurance or purchase protection. Start getting the most out of your credit cards today by going to joinkudos.com/techlinked. I know you like the Quick Bits, okay, but I don't do it just for you. There are other people here. Look around the, oh, you're on the toilet. Okay, well. In a much too common trend, Microsoft announced it's laying off 10,000 workers, around 4.5% of the company's workforce. But the move is attracting even more criticism than normal, since it comes 1 year to the day after Microsoft announced plans to acquire Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. The layoffs might make more sense if Microsoft had actually paid that money already, but the deal hasn't gone through, and it might not ever if regulators get their way. And then what are you gonna do, hire the poor workers back? I understand how businesses work. Dell's once controversial CAMM laptop memory standard has come full circle. The industry group overseeing memory standards, Getty, I'm assuming that, announced they'll formally adopt CAMM as the next RAM module standard for notebooks. Getty says they may modify the design before releasing the spec in the second half of 2023, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't feel dumb for doubting Dell's good intentions. We really should trust tech companies more. Google Stadia will be well and truly dead as of 11:59 p.m. Pacific time today, January 18th, just over 3 years after the service was announced. People will no doubt be talking about how Google announces and then cancels services, but maybe we're thinking about this the wrong way. Maybe Stadia lived a proper life. 3 years is a long time. Would you want to be in prison for 3 years? Not if the only option for entertainment was Stadia. Boston Dynamics has again attempted to intimidate the world with a new video of its Atlas robot not only parkouring around a construction site, but also making its own bridge with a wooden plank and throwing a heavy bag of tools at a human worker. And then it has the audacity to do a twisty Flip McGee off of a box and pump its metal limb in a disquieting mockery of a human person. Boston Dynamics, this will not end well. Why don't you just act like a normal company and sell HomePods or something? And yet more classified military information has been revealed on the War Thunder forums by people who apparently care more about the accuracy of their game than about national security. To back up an interesting detail they found out about the F-16 fighter jet, a user posted a specifications document that was still classified as restricted. The user might be at risk of facing 10 years in prison and/or a massive fine, but honestly, that's worth it, to know that people aren't flying a virtual plane equipped with the wrong type of missiles. It's unacceptable. And this is the wrong time to continue this episode because it's over. Come back on Friday for more tech news or face 10 years in prison and/or a massive fine.